Have you ever felt like you are constantly running through life? Like you cannot stop for a second. You cannot take deep breath in and deep breath out. There is always something what you should be doing or what you have to do. You are not being driven really by achievements or goals, but the fear that doesn't make you stop. Eventually you feel exhausted, tired, overwhelmed, but you still keep running, you still keep going, and you feel like there is a threat just behind you. My name is Piotr and this is Sensitive Depth. Today I would like to talk and bring awareness to threat system. Threat system is one of the main systems within our body, within our brain that help us to function. And of course, main reason for our threat system is to keep us safe. But unfortunately, our threat system might not work well in many scenarios. And one of those problematic scenarios might be when you just constantly look for a danger. You cannot see happiness. You cannot feel really happiness. You cannot live your life fully because wherever you go, wherever you are, there might be a danger. So you automatically look for it. You automatically overthink everything. You simply cannot relax because there is always something that your brain is looking for that might be dangerous for you. And it can have many aspects. It can touch your relationship, for example. You might feel like, I'm in a good relationship, but I don't feel like this because I need to check all the time if everything is okay. I need to check with my partner if my partner is okay, if I'm feeling okay, if that partner still wants me. The same with friends, the same with new people that you meet. Do they like me? So you are constantly in your head, thinking and thinking and thinking and looking for a danger. And that also triggers your emotions. You are anxious very often. You are scared because you don't know what to expect. You try to predict what might happen, but you don't know. But at the same time, your threat system might work on a very extreme level, looking for a danger when there is not actually a danger. So you are basically in constant stress. Your body is in constant stress. You cannot relax. You cannot let go because you are constantly prepared. I need to run. I need to fight. I need to freeze. So you probably feel like you are scanning everything all the time. You are automatically scanning because it's out of your control. It's your nervous system, it's your brain, that's how they function. It's not your awareness. And with that comes tiredness, exhaustion. Because how long you can function this way, in this constant survival mode? So for your threat system, if it's not working properly, you are basically constantly during a war that you need to look where is the danger. Not where is the safety, but where is the danger. Because you are never in safety. Your body just cannot function like that all the time. Stress and threat system are there to help us to survive, to function, to avoid danger, to predict what might hurt us. But at the same time, it cannot work all the time because eventually our body will break, our nervous system will break, our mental health will break. When you're living constantly in this survival mode, you don't see happiness, you don't receive happiness, you don't receive calmness. You cannot let yourself just feel the life as it is, as a full spectrum of life, good and bad, and the grace behind it. And it's never ending, because if one danger passes, there might be another one, and another one, and another one. So you may feel like there's a threat in every single corner. Eventually you also feel helpless, because you don't have control. You cannot do anything about it, because this is naturally how your nervous system is functioning. And of course, there might be time that you just cannot stop for a second. You're constantly trying to do something, trying to prove something someone, because the layer of why and how your threat system is working is actually a way deeper. It might be, for example, connected to your inner critic. Because if you stop for a second, proving yourself and everyone else that you are worth something, then the inner critic comes. Then the shadow comes. Everything which you truly believe what you are, how you are, your self-worth, and actually lack of it, comes in the moments when you try to rest, when you try to let go. Because at least when you try to run, you are busy with running. But when you stop, you hear in yourself many, many reasons why you have to run. Because you're still in a danger that is living within you. At some point you blame yourself. What's wrong with you? Why you are always functioning this way? Why you just cannot be happy? Why you just cannot enjoy your holidays? Enjoy your time off, and you are so tired and helpless. So this is a short description of how actually the problem of threat system might look like. And to just give some theory, we need threat system. It helps us function. For example, you by accident touch something hot. Your body naturally takes hand from the kettle to don't cause more damage. That's your natural reaction. Without your control, without even your thinking. You think about this later when your body actually reacted already. And this is the base of threat system, how threat system works. So it's not about changing the threat system. It's about understanding and how to live with the threat system that you have. But the threat system and the problem might happen in different scenarios. And very often it's because, obviously, of our experience from the past. Imagine a child that was living in a home when there was always a danger, when the mother was abusive, father was, for example, alcoholic, very aggressive. That child learned, and the nervous system of the child, the threat system of the child, learned that I need to be constantly watching, I need to be constantly prepared. So if it happens for a long period of time, even when the child grows up, the nervous system, the threat system, is very strongly activated all the time. Because this is what I experienced, this is what I learned, so I still need to do exactly the same as I used to do. Because I've learned, that was my script. Life, people, place where I live are not safe. So it means that everything is not safe because I need to survive. That's my priority. That's my primitive instinct to survive. And I don't want to explore biological aspects of threat system. It's more about understanding and bring awareness what's happening to you, how it's happening to you, and also what you could do about it. And coming back to the based theory of threat system operates on three main emotions, three main feelings. First is obviously being constantly anxious or being anxious because we constantly fear something, what might happen. And of course, anxiety has different levels. Some of them are not that visible, some of them are mild, but some of them are very extreme. The other one is anger. And why anger? Anger is a very primitive emotion, even very simple emotion. If someone attacks you, you need anger to protect yourself. You need anger to say no. So threat system operates on this anger because anger and how we feel anger in our bodies help us keep safe. And the last emotion is disgust, because disgust shows you this is what I don't want to touch. This is not what I want to be close to, because this is dangerous. And the core of disgust is actually coming from substances that we naturally want to avoid. Very often when we feel disgust, we don't really consciously think. This is when our body switches to, I just avoid it. I don't think what is it. I don't want to know what is this. I just avoid it. So those emotions are to keep us safe, and they work very well with threat system. Threat system operates also on 5 main responses. First, of course, is a fight. So if something happens to us, if there is a danger, we fight. We want to fight it. We want to remove it using force, for example. The other one is flight. So we simply want to run away. We want to hide. We want to avoid it. The other one is freeze. And perfect example for freeze is dissociation. We don't feel our body. We cannot do anything. We cannot sometimes move because our body becomes frozen. This is what is going on right now. It's too much. I cannot handle it. I cannot feel that much. So I just turn it off. And the last one is fawn, which means that I will be kind to you. I will be nice to you. I will do everything for you. I will make you like me, make you love me, so you won't hurt me. And as we can see, all those responses, most of those responses are very complex. And I told you very simple ways and situations how they work, but the complexity and how they actually look like in life, real life, different scenarios, complex scenarios in life. This is when the threat system and the responses of threat system might be very complicated. So what to do, especially when it doesn't function properly, doesn't function well? First of all, of course, is the awareness. Notice how my threat system is working when it's not working the way it's supposed to work. Every one of us is different. Every one of us has completely different experience, different childhood, different lives, different experience. We are different. Our genes are different. So that's why you need to check with yourself. What is my threat system like? To what exactly I respond to and how I respond to? Is it my threat system healthy and keeps me safe, but at the same time is not being activated when it's not necessary? And with that, the knowledge of your own responses, of your own reactions, you can recognize, do I actually constantly look for something what might be hurtful for me? Am I still in this survival mode almost every single day, almost every single time? Or maybe my threat system works well, works properly the way it's supposed to work. Is there a balance? What motivates me in life? If I do things in life because I want to, because they bring me happiness, they bring me fulfillment, or maybe I do things in my life because I'm scared to see what's going on when I don't do anything. And if your threat system doesn't work well, doesn't work the way it's supposed to be, and is actually problematic for you, the understanding why, where it's coming from, what did you learn, how actually, where you are at this point, what happened in the past, what your threat system learned, your whole nervous system, what learned that the threat system is functioning the way it's functioning right now. Because it's very unlikely that your threat system is just the way it is and always was. But another part is not to just reshape it and bring safety to threat system, but also learn how to live with it. So understanding yourself and learn how to live the way you are, bringing your consciousness to it. And also a small thing that I would like to mention is definitely the fact that if you are functioning on threat system all the time, we cannot learn, we cannot develop, we cannot progress, we cannot grow, because we are in survival mode. Our threat system is blocking our brain from getting new information. For example, I'm not gonna learn the subject of my studies and so on and so on, or I will, but it will be very difficult for me because my priority for my brain is to avoid the threat. And this is something what is very often missed in childhood, especially for children that went through very difficult childhood experience. And they thought and they think that they are not smart. They just cannot learn. They don't like to learn. But it's not true. It's just you needed to survive. That was your priority. Not to learn maths, biology, physics, and so on and so on. Your priority was to survive. So this is something what I also wanted to add, and I hope you will reflect on it more. We very often judge ourselves, define ourselves, not based on understanding what we needed, what we lived, what our experience was. But we are this, we are that. We judge ourselves so many times without actually bringing understanding. Yes, it now will make sense. I'm actually smart. I just couldn't focus at school. I just couldn't focus because my brain was looking for a danger all the time. My basically brain was thinking like, if I'm gonna come back to home, is my father going to be drunk? My mother shouting, throwing things everywhere? And it's not about just people that survive alcoholism within family, drugs, and so on and so on. Your experience matters, especially understanding your experience and how that experience shaped you. And it doesn't define who you are or who you are not. And of course, the final step with recognizing your threat system, with recognizing and seeing what your threat system is like, starting to live with it, bringing awareness, seeing when the threat system is working properly and when it's not, then bringing the safety, activate other systems. But before we will be able to activate other systems, we need to first slow down and lower the threat system, because the threat system is the dominative one, because we first need to survive. If I feel safe, then I can do something else, then I can enjoy my life, then I can be happy, then I can study, then I can grow. But if it's not safe, my threat system is active. I need to survive now. Where is the danger? How I can handle the danger? And when there is no danger, again, I can now live. I can be happy, and so on and so on. So in the end, to reflect on, I will give you some questions that might help you explore and reflect more when my threat system is activated. And it's not necessarily to take notebook and write, you could do that too, but it's mostly to bring awareness to everyday life and see and notice what is happening, how it's happening. Recognize, oh, I see that now I feel anxious, and I see that I'm scared, something's happening. My brain is trying to, what just happened there? What just happened there? Did I close the door? Did I close the door? I need to check if I closed the door. I feel like my heart is racing. I'm scared. I feel like someone is in the kitchen, and so on and so on. So recognize what your response is, what you want to do, what you feel like you want to do, what you're anxious about. And of course, going deeper, was that actually a reaction appropriate to what just happened? I just didn't close the door and someone was in the room, but I know my partner is there. So yes, but my feelings were so intense. What does it remind me of? Do I remember? Do I have any memory when I felt in similar way? Because probably your nervous system experienced similar, and now being activated not only from the present but also from the past. This takes us to another question. How does your threat system respond? What are your natural responses? And the last question is, what exactly are you afraid of? And of course, there might be a lot of depth. We need to also remember that the threat system is strongly connected to inner critic, to your self-worth. So what you are afraid of there, stopping for a second, take a deep breath in, deep breath out, facing your shadow, facing your inner self. What are you afraid of? I hope that was quite helpful for you today. If you like today's content, please give like, subscribe, and I will see you in next videos. All the best.